Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm coming to you today with another Armada fleet build, and today the focus is going to be Nebulons because I'm trying to make an artillery firing line, kind of a swarmy build, and I wanted to come up with a Nebulon heavy based build. I had bought a lot of these in the past because of the XI7s and some of the other upgrades, and so I have 4 of them right now, and I wanted to try and come up with a way to use all of these, and basically, their biggest weakness here, let me shrink the window down so we can see more. Alright, so the biggest weakness of these ships right now is that they're only really strong in the front, and their sides are very weak, so if somebody flanks them, it becomes really, really bad for the Nebulons. Well, if I have 4 of them and I can effectively fan them out and have all of them pointing outwards, almost like if you put your hand up to the screen, how your fingers are more or less going the same direction but slightly fanned out, and that's kind of how I would want to deploy these guys. So with 4 here, the general thing is a lot of times they're just going to have the one shot, and so like my 2 in the middle, for example, I would give slaved turrets to, because they're probably only going to shoot one time, and I'm trying to save as many points as I can. And I've said before that this is like one of the only ships that you really want to use slaved turrets on. There's not too many ships that this really works and benefits for, but the ones on the outside I will put spinal armament, and this way we can shoot twice with them and they won't be obstructed if they're shooting outside. So that's kind of that. So now I've got my basic, and one of them will go ahead and make the Salvation, because why not? It's a great title, fits into what we're doing here, so that's good. I mean, I could probably put Redemption on one of them, but I think I'm going to be doing Concentrated Fires more than Engineering. For commanders, I'm going to put some Corvettes in here too. So I can go with Dodonna or Mon Mothma. Both will work pretty well. Dodonna's more offensive, but I think I'm going to go with Mon Mothma just so that these things don't necessarily get one-shotted quite so easily as we close into the firing lines and get a little closer. So Mon Mothma will, because everybody's got evades. These guys I'm going to give this Jaina's Light, and we're going to put TRC on both of these CR90s. So now I've got 6 ships right here. Now this is really, really nice. A lot of damage. And then these, I've got 2 flankers, and these also can be objective ships. So when I do my objectives, I'm going to kind of pick objectives that helps if you have maneuverable ships. And also Jaina's Light, because I have 6 ships, and it's very likely there'll be some obstructed shots, so I can keep her kind of in the back and safe. I could even put Lando on there or something like that if I wanted to keep her extra safe. But I need to have some squadrons also, because that will be one big weakness. Now, with only 25 points left, I can't do a whole lot. So I could do a couple of Z95s. I can't quite fit 4. Let me look at A-Wings also. A-Wings are a little more resilient. So if I do 2 Z95s and an A-Wing, that gives me a little bit of support, a little bit of squadron, just deterrent, hopefully just slow somebody down long enough that I can focus fire them. This obviously has a big weakness if I go up against a very heavy squadron build, but it would be very fun to play regardless. So now let's take a look at objectives. I want to basically have opening salvo. This is a given. Any really high activation list, I love to have opening salvo. This is just going to be tremendously strong. If somebody chooses opening salvo, they actually would never choose this one, because this would almost guarantee victory. So now for the other 2, it's one of the things that I don't want is I don't want to pick anything that's going to benefit fighters. So I want to basically be able to force people to try to go into my front, my firing line. I don't want to be flanked. So I want things that are going to allow me to kind of punish the enemy player from going a certain way. So I think the navigational hazards would be a fun one. Now, normally I would go with minefields, but I always pick minefields, and I think it's a little better with Dodonna. So let's go with navigational hazard. And this allows me to kind of reposition. So if they are able to get past some asteroids, I can potentially move those asteroids and get back in their way and punish them, and I won't put any in the frontal path of where I want them to go. And then for the yellows, we have, I think contested outpost is the way to go here, because I can just point my firing line at the outpost, and they'll have to send somebody to the outpost if they want to get any of the points, and if not, then I'll just sit there and collect points the whole game. So that is also good. And I have some options there of trying to basically force them into the middle. I think in this case somebody would probably choose navigational hazards, but that's fine also because of the fact that I've got Jaina's Light, so if I have to end up landing on a rock, it's really no problem. And you know, and also I can use the rocks for defense and position them accordingly to protect Mon Mothma. So these are the objectives that I have for this Nebulon-based build. I don't think this would be a terribly super competitive list, but I think it would be unexpected. I think it would really surprise a lot of people because the Nebulons don't see a whole lot of play outside of a single Salvation here and there or a single Yavaris here and there. So I think this would be a fun build to run. And, you know, Riken would be another option for this one, as a matter of fact. If the Riken would not be terrible. So that's another option. And it would also, although I'd have to change up some things and make room for the points. But, and I don't have to have Spinal Armament on all of these guys. I could always just have 3 and then a Concentrate Fire. Still 4 red dice out the front. So I don't have, you know, there's plenty of room to fiddle around with it and tweak this build. But that's kind of the idea. You could add more Nebulons and go all Nebulons if you wanted to, but I wanted to have some maneuverability for objective play as well. So let me know what you think, guys. And as always, if you haven't already, please subscribe to get more updates. Click the little bell for alerts when I publish something new. You'll get notified. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think or what you would do differently. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.